Hey, everybody. Today is Saturday, June 24th. How's everybody doing? We got a solution to go over tonight, or today. Still today, as you can see here in Vegas. So My Treasure Adventures. MyTreasureAdventures.com. If you look down in the description, there is a link to the website. Going to do a $6,000 treasure hunt in every state, except for California. Aha! So the leaderboard has been updated. Check it out. And it makes sense because My Treasure Adventures was in a article in Pennsylvania. So now Pennsylvania is number one. So let's hope they get enough tickets going to do Pennsylvania. And then in second place, we got North Carolina, Ohio, Texas, and then Massachusetts and South Carolina. And then 4 states are tied for 7th place. Let's go to the calendar. I hear a rumor that the dates have been changed around. Yeah, there we go. Pennsylvania is now happening on July 8th. Makes sense because that's where Tammy's located. The news article was there. So that is in 3 short weeks, or 2 weeks. I'm sorry. In 2 weeks is July 8th. So all these states are going to happen, but hopefully Pennsylvania at least will happen because she did the article. So it'll be interesting to see if it's going to go or not. She got to sell 400 tickets. So if you're in any of these states in 2 weeks, you can partake in a treasure hunt for $6,000. So there it is. Nevada still on September 23rd, but that's okay because we get to see how all these. I'm assuming we'll see the solution on all these before we get to Nevada. So if you're in Pennsylvania or surrounding state and want to play, go get your ticket. What are you waiting for? So there it is. Pretty ambitious project by Tammy, but so what happens is she sent us a sample riddle because I was like, hey, how about how's your treasure hunts work? Like nobody knows a puzzle that you've done. I know you said you tried to do one in Pennsylvania a while ago, but could you send us one for here in Vegas? And she was nice enough to do that. A week ago, we put up the riddle, and tonight we're going to go over the solution. And there is a search area. I'll show you guys this. And for anybody that actually looked at the riddle, thought they had an answer, play along. So the southern part of Las Vegas and Henderson, this is the area. Okay. So just like how the real hunt works, where it's a location where a proxy item would be found, right? And I will say this, from what I've heard from a couple different searchers, Tammy, is they want to buy in, but they're not going to because their state is so big. So I know somebody lives in Florida that was like, well, I'm in southern Florida, and if she hides it in a city up in northern Florida, I'm not going to drive all the way up there, so they're not going to play. So I don't know. I know in big states you split it up like Texas, but it's just like for us, for me and K-Pro, we bought in for Nevada. We show support. But if you hide it up by Carson City or Reno, we're not going to be going 7, 8, 9 hours in order to find it. So I don't know if maybe you narrow it down maybe to cities instead of a state. So if you narrow it down and say these are the cities, 500-mile radius around a city, do you get more tickets for everybody in that city? Or are you now excluding all the people that are outside of that radius in the state? Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. And I don't know if you can make the change now. Well, of course you can. You can do whatever you want. All you'd have to do is update that calendar with the states. I mean, with the city and state instead of just the state. So just a thought. I know some people were turned off because they don't know where it's going to be. But, if it's not within a couple hours of them, they know they're not going to go get it. So, hey, MS. Hey, little engine that could. How's it going? So let's just jump right into it. And in the comments down below, it's Saturday. Everybody's probably busy. It's a beautiful weekend out. But as you guys watch this throughout the week, in the comments down below, leave your feedback. And don't just say I like it or it was hard or I didn't like it or I couldn't find that. Actually leave feedback on what you thought of this sample puzzle that she sent us. Again, no prize. This is not the Nevada puzzle she's going to do. This is just a sample. So we can kind of see how her brain works and get an idea of how her puzzles will work out. I will say she did this, from Pennsylvania. It's not like she was here. It's not like she was here to do this, so it may be a little bit different when she does it. Treasure Adventures is in the house. I will give a map like this for all the states on the 3rd day. I will consider some states before that, though. Oh, okay, cool. So for you guys that don't know, when you buy a ticket on the day of, And you guys know what the day of, because of the calendar I just showed, at 11 a.m., you get the riddle. Every 24 hours after that, there's hints that come out until it's found. And now Treasure Adventures has just said that on the third day, they're going to give an area. They will narrow it down to an area. So there you go. It's their puzzle. They're going to run it the way they want to. All right, here we go. Let's jump right into it, everybody. And then I will say this wasn't easy. I was not able to solve it, but that doesn't mean it's not solvable. It just means that me and K-Pro and the kids were not able to solve it. Let me find what I did with the puzzle. Ah, there it is. Okay, let's check it out. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, solving this riddle will not bring you fame, but it will prove you're playing at the top of your game. We're going to go by each kind of stanza and go over the answer. Okay. Hey, Tay, happy birthday, Bob. Treasure Adventures, Tammy's husband, Bob. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday. I know you were excited to go with Tammy to all of these states and hide these proxies and have a lot of fun. So happy birthday. And yeah, Pennsylvania, now that you did the article, I hope sales have picked up, and I hope at least, that one goes, because it's not an easy thing. It's hard to sell 400 tickets. It's hard to get 400 people to say, yes, this is legitimate. Yes, I want to find it, and all that kind of stuff. But I think the interview you did with us went a long way to assuring people that you're honest and you're doing what you said you're going to do, and you're going to make it happen. And it's just that simple. Give me 1 second. So yeah, happy birthday. Go out and do something fun. And it would help if I do this and then I do this. All right, here we go. Solving this riddle will not bring you fame, but it will prove you're playing at the top of your game. Now, when I first read this, and K-Pro, we said, well, top of your game probably means something. So I was thinking stratosphere, like what's the highest point, in Nevada? And because playing at the top of your game, I thought it had to do with gaming or casinos. And especially with the second stanza, which is now a date with a star would be so much fun. Casinos galore. There's a lot to be won. To me, I thought, okay, it's a casino we're looking for, top of your game, stratosphere, right? Top of the stratosphere. And then a date with a star, I thought you could see stars because you're at the top of the stratosphere. That's the direction I was going down. Okay. Hey, and happy birthday, Bob from MS. All right. Sounds like Top Golf. That would be another one. Exactly. That could be Top Golf as well. The thing is, it could be a lot of places, right? It's very subjective. It's kind of open, and it's only the first stanza. But I was going along the casino route, and that was not correct. Solving this riddle will not bring you fame, but it will prove you're playing at the top of your game. So top was important and playing was important. Top, meaning there is something somewhere in Vegas that you could see all of Vegas at. So something up high was correct. Game, playing, and game meant like playing on a, wait for it, playground. It was a playground she was getting at. Okay. So not playing as in a casino, playing as in a playground. And what do kids do on a playground? They play games. They play hide and seek. They play freeze tag. They play et cetera, right? So the first stanza of the riddle was hinting at a playground. I could see that. It could also hint at a lot of other things, which is why we got to read the rest of the poem to narrow it down. Okay. Now, a date with a star would be so much fun. Casinos galore. There's a lot to be won. Is even a winner if it lands on the zero, because I'll rent a limo, be everyone's hero. So you notice a couple things on this second stanza. The S is capitalized, right? And the S and is capitalized. And yes, that is on purpose. There are no misspelled words, or the misspelled words are intentional. So something's going on. And then is even a winner doesn't really, grammatically, doesn't make sense. So I guess that would have been a hint to us to not take this stanza 2 or part 2 of the riddle literally, right? I was still thinking literally. I was like, casinos, lands on the zero. I'll rent a limo, be everyone's hero. In front of the stratosphere, there's this big mural on the sidewalk, and it's roulette numbers. And I, of course, sticking with the stratosphere thing, the stratosphere theme, I thought, oh, it's roulette. She's bringing us there to that location, which is outside the stratosphere. The roulette. It's a whole dice roulette. It's a whole theme they got going there. And then from there, I thought, well, then you look around and maybe there's a limo service or something going on. But that is not what it meant. The stanza was not literal. What we were supposed to realize is with the S capitalized letters mean something, right? Because the letters are capitalized, something else is going on. Give me 1 second. Bop, bop. Give me 1 second. That's not the one that I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, there we go. I get this straightened over here. Okay, so first stanza, playing, playground, game, playground. Top, there's something up high, something having to do with the playground that's up high or in the area that's up high. Second stanza is the capital letters. But see, it's difficult because even if you recognize the S, and I'm talking to everybody out there, and I'm talking to Tammy to give her feedback as somebody who's trying to find one of her poems. If I say capital letters are important, well, then I'm going to go NCSC. So I'm thinking NCSC. Those are the capital letters in this stanza, right? But it was actually NCC, and then the numbers that were in the stanza. Okay, so the date with a star would be so much fun. Casinos galore. There's a lot to be won. Is even the S is capitalized to make it into 7. SEVEN. Right. So 1, the play on words. 1 is number 1. Capital SEVEN is 7. Okay. 0 is 0, of course. 1 again. Every one's hero, another 1. So if you have NCC, right, and then 1701, does anybody know what that is out there in Nerdland? I knew what it was once it was pointed out to me. I knew what it was. Does that look familiar right there? NCC 1701? Anybody? Bueller? But what was confusing, Tammy, is that there's 4 capitalized letters, right? Not just the 3. So I was thinking the S, it was NCSC. And then it was like, well, I couldn't figure out what that meant. NCC 1701, anybody? Come on, somebody out there has got to know. But there's also a delay when I do this. So NCC 1701 is the number of the USS Enterprise in Star Trek. Boom, that is the answer to this entire stanza as Enterprise. And in Las Vegas, we have a community called Enterprise over on the west side. So this entire stanza, stanza 2, was a hint to Enterprise. Let me bring up the map and show you guys what I'm talking about. I like it, but because that capital S threw it off. How do I know that the S was 7 and not supposed to be part of the NCC? That's what threw me off. Yeah, there you go, Tammy. And that's exactly why you did this, was to get feedback from everybody, right? And yeah, and hopefully it's positive feedback and you learn as you go. Can't be easy trying to do this in every city, for sure. So if we look on the map, once we realize we're looking for a playground, and once we learn that it's an Enterprise, so remember, lower half of Vegas and Henderson. Now over here on the west side, there's a little community called Enterprise. So now we have a basic area. It's over here somewhere. So now just think about how much fun this will be on the day of for $6,000. There's a proxy item out there when the actual treasure hunt happens. First searchers that get to it, find it, get $6,000. And you just realize it's a playground and you just realize it's in Enterprise. And you're like, okay, how many, I can just see K-Pro on the computer. How many parks are in Enterprise, Nevada? Trying to look it up, trying to map every single park. So, but all we have is a general area so far. Okay. And again, not easy, but I don't think these are meant to be easy. I don't think Tammy wants it over in one day. She wants to, it comes out on a Saturday, but what if I have to work? What if I'm busy? What if I got to do this? I think it'd be great if these things do last a couple of days, in my opinion. It's just me. And of course, she is going to give a hint every 24 hours until somebody finds it. So even if it is kind of hard, she's going to give a hint so that somebody out there can find it. Let me bring this up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, MS says good clue. So I knew NCC 1701 right away. Star Trek, Enterprise. As soon as I knew it, it's just the NCCS threw me off. The S part of 7. That's all. What I would have done, Tammy, just some constructive feedback. And again, I don't know if this makes it too easy or not, but what I would have done is I would have capitalized the S and the EVEN. So in other words, I would have made all this capitalized as a hint that you're looking for a number. 7 is part of the number. Now find the rest of the numbers in the thing. Okay. And then also you put it together with the NCC. Maybe that makes it too easy. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. So Enterprise, Nevada is on the west side. We have a general area now. playing at the top of your game does not have to do with casinos. It has to do with a playground, something that's up high. All right. The dinosaur playground in Enterprise. Okay, MS, we'll see. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, Robert, I do need to bring the coffee cup back in the videos. How's it going, Robert? And I will eventually. Yeah, Star Trek. Exactly. MS got it a little while ago. I didn't see that for NCC 1701. Okay, next stanza. You better keep up. You can't fall behind, since Henry and Son are the adventurous kind. You better keep up. You can't fall behind, since Henry and Son are the adventurous kind. Now, when we were working on this with the kids, I was like, Henry and Son. I'm like, I know it. It's like right there. And I'm like, Henry and Son. I know this. Henry. One of the kids said Henry Danger. I guess that's a Nickelodeon show or something. And I don't know if it's him and his son. I don't know anything about that show. But I was like, no, I don't think that's it. I like knew it, but I couldn't think of what it was. I'm like, Henry and Son. What do you guys think? Henry and Son. Now, Tammy's using pop culture references, a lot of movie references. So this is a movie reference. You better keep up. You can't fall behind. Henry and Son are the adventurous kind. So think of an adventure movie, adventurous. And there's a father named Henry and a son, an adventure, very popular movie. Anybody? It is, wait for it, Indiana Jones. Because Indiana Jones's father, played by Sean Connery, was named Henry. So Henry and Son. Henry's the father. The son is Indiana Jones. And that is a hint to you better. And then also, okay, it's a double meaning. You better keep up. You can't fall behind is the expression keeping up with who? You better keep up. You can't fall behind. Henry and Son, Henry Jones, Indiana Jones. You better keep up. You can't fall behind. The hint is Jones. Now, how does that help us? How does that help us in our area? If we look here at Enterprise, how does that help us? If we look at Enterprise, we look maybe at some street names. We've got Apache. We've got El Capitan Way. We've got Durango, Cinnamon Road, Buffalo Drive, Rainbow Drive, and Jones right here, Jones Boulevard. So now we've narrowed it down to Enterprise, and right here there's a Jones Boulevard, right? And so this area, this general area over here, in Enterprise, there is a Jones Boulevard. Okay, awesome. But we're not ready to jump in the car just yet. You know, I mean, you could, I guess, just go drive up and down Jones Boulevard and look. But, yeah, there you go. Treasure Adventures. Henry Jones Jr. Yeah. Indiana's name. Oh, I thought Sean Collar's name was Henry. No? So Indiana's real name is Henry Jones. Well, then what was Sean Connery's name? Yeah, JBR Princess. Life got in the way. She didn't get a chance to work on this, but it's right in her wheelhouse. Yeah. JBR Princess, if you're going to be in Vegas for this treasure hunt, yeah, my money will be on you for sure. Because I know what you do for the Jingle Bell Rock every year. What was Sean Connery's name in Indiana Jones? Anybody? Actually, I guess I can just look it up myself, right? All right. Indiana Jones. Jones' real name is Henry in Indiana Jones. Okay. And then Indiana Jones' father's real name. Yeah, Henry Jones Sr. Got it. They're both Henry. Got it. They're both Jones, though. The important part is Jones. So that's correct. Both are named Henry. Got it. Okay. Makes sense. So now we have a Jones Boulevard. Next stanza. Over in Italy, they sure like to drive. This road can be dangerous. I hope they survive. The kids got this one once you sent the hint out. And Tammy was like, I can send you a hint. You know, like normally 24 hours later, we give a hint. So we got the hint. And once we got the hint, one of the kids even said, so over in Italy, they sure like to drive. I hope that this road can be dangerous. I hope they survive. That, of course, was a hint to Mario Brothers. You know, Italy, they sure like to drive. And they drive on, especially because the Mario Brothers movie came out, which we just saw with the kids about a month before this, which is Rainbow Road. Okay? Rainbow Road. So if we go back to our handy dandy Google Maps, and again, we're not driving anywhere yet. We're still looking on a map. There's a Jones Boulevard. There's a Rainbow Boulevard right here. Rainbow Boulevard. So it looks like she's leading us along a path. We've got Jones. Now we've got Rainbow. What's the next one over? The next one's Buffalo. We'll see. But keep that in mind. Just because you get a street name, it doesn't mean that's where the park is. She could just be leading us in a general direction, right? Yeah, JBR Princess said, boom, she got it. Okay. I like it. I like this. Okay. Whoops. What'd I do? Okay. So we've got Enterprise. We've got Jones Boulevard. We've got Rainbow Boulevard. What next? How do we start to pinpoint it? There's a family of 4. Are they happy or sad? They're like sticks in the mud, and it makes me feel bad. Eric says, I bought New York. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope it goes live. I know somebody else that bought New York who is your direct competition. So, yes, I hope they go live. I hope every state goes live. But I really hope Pennsylvania goes live because that's where Tammy is, and that'll be a great test case. It'll be a great first state. Once they get a winner and go over the solution, then I think the other ones blow up. So I hope Pennsylvania goes in 2 weeks. There's a family of 4. Are they happy or sad? They're like sticks in the mud, and it makes me feel bad. Okay. So I didn't get this one at first, right? And I'll explain to you why, Tammy. Here, let's go back to our Google Maps. If I'm on Enterprise, and remember, we're looking for a playground, and we're looking for something that's up high, something that has to do with something up high. Jones, Rainbow, and if you're leading us along a path, we keep going. And right here, I know that JBR Princess is familiar with this. Overlook Circle. So here, let me show you guys. Overlook Circle is a huge thing you can hike up to, and it's way up there, and you get a whole view of the strip, etc. Okay? So you may think, well, it's at Overlook Circle. But remember, we're looking for a park. I did, Tammy. Thank you. I did get it. And that's why at first I'm like, what is it? Yeah, and I get it now. But there is an issue with it, and I'll tell you what it is. At least I think it's an issue. Right here next to it is a park, Exploration Peak Park. And if we go, let me see if it's going to give us the picture I need. Otherwise, I'll use yours. Yeah, let me use yours. Give me 1 second. And actually, I went over there, and I can show you mine as well. I had it. What'd I do with it? So remember, we're looking for stick people, right? What are the stick people? Come on, load in. So right here we go. So again, we go back to the verse. There's a family of 4. Are they happy or sad? They're like sticks in the mud, and it makes me feel bad. If you look at the park that is by Exploration Peak, which is the top of the game, if you look at that park, right there are 4 stick people, right? So I can't tell if they're happy or sad because there's no faces. You can now, right? Yeah, MS, okay. But yeah, here's the thing though, Tammy, every park that's owned by Vegas has these 4 people. This is the symbol for Clark County, Nevada parks. So if I was at the wrong park, I would see the same 4 people, and I would think maybe I'm on the right. The rest of it wouldn't make sense. But if you were just trying to narrow it down to this particular park, that clue is too general because this symbol is on all the parks. Now, you could say, and what I agree with is if I know I'm in the right park because of the up top clue. So I know it has to be a park. Sorry. I know it has to be a park by the Exploration Peak. And that part I agree with. And that would be how I guess I know I'm at the right park. And then from there you go on. But I just wanted you to recognize, because I didn't know if you did or not, is that symbol is on all the parks in Vegas. So when you realize it's Overlook Circle is the up high and top of your game, play is a playground. This is the closest park to the Overlook Circle. So I like it. So now is when we jump in the car and we do 110 miles over there to Exploration Peak Park. Because now we've narrowed it down that this is probably it. I don't think we have a 100% confirmer, but this is probably it. It fits the clues so far if you've deciphered them correctly. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. And when you're here doing it in person, I think then you would see, because remember, Tammy did all this from home on Google Maps. I don't even know if Tammy's been to Vegas before. You know what I mean? So she just whipped this together. I think it took you like a week to say, here's a sample puzzle. But when you're actually in these states doing them in person, then I think, you'd be able to see a couple things a little bit differently. So we think it's Exploration Peak Park. We jump in the car. We head on over there. And that's what I did. I jumped in the car and I headed on over there. So let's take a look at what it looks like once we jump in the car. And if I can find where my videos are, there we go. Give me a second. So again, $6,000 on the line, everybody. I'm going through red lights. No, I'm not going through red lights. Just kidding. Even when the real puzzle happens, don't go through red lights. Don't get crazy, everybody. Yeah, still fun though. Of course, it's fun, Hector. Now, the puzzle's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not a foot race. It's not at 11 a.m. You're in the car with the kids and your thermos, and it's like, here's a puzzle. Go get it. You got to sit down. You got to research. You got to think, what do they mean by these clues? I hope it could last 4 or 5 days. That would be great. All right. There's no audio, so I guess I can mute this. So here it is. I'm driving to the park. This is Exploration Peak Park. There is the sign. And if you look real close, you see the 4 stick figures. I missed that when I drove over there. For some reason, I was thinking there'd be a big thing with stick figures. So did I not pause it? Pause it. Get back. Right there is the stick figures, okay? So you see how that part of the stanza makes sense, right? The 4 stick figures. Okay, so now we're in the park. And it's a pretty big park. And the first thing you notice when you pull in, there's a whole thing over here, which is like a kid's playground, like with the jungle gym and the seesaw and all that. So that ties into the first stanza, that's the direction, in my opinion. That ties in that's where we're supposed to go. And that's right where I went. When I saw that, that's right when I went over there. Again, I know the solution at this point, right? But I'm just saying it ties in. I wouldn't go to if there's a baseball diamond. There's nothing in the thing about it. Does say play your game. So I guess you could say baseball. So spend a day at the park and look around and see if you can make the clues fit. I got to take the kids over here. I've never been to this park before. And there's a cool thing here, playground for kids. So I'm definitely going to take them over there one of these days. So, okay, let's go back to the riddle and find out what the rest is. So I think I'm in the right park. We got Enterprise. We got, Jones Road. We got Rainbow. We got the Peak, Exploration Peak. Here's Exploration Park, 4 stick figures. Boom, I'm in the park. There's 84 other people running around trying to find the proxy. Now, how are we supposed to figure out where it is? Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Boom. There's a family of 4. Are they happy or sad? They're like sticks in the mud, and it makes me feel bad. So again, the 4 stick people on the sign makes you realize this is the park. Can't tell if they're happy or sad because they're just circles for faces. Next stanza. Now, there's only 2 stanzas left, right? And we've got to find a token that's about this big. Like, we got to pinpoint it somehow. Hello, friend, in a nice, soothing voice. Which way to go now? You must make a choice. Hello, friend, in a nice, soothing voice. Which way to go now? You must make a choice. So let me go to the other video. So I'm there. Do that. I'm there. I get out of the car. I saw this big playground thing for kids, and I thought, okay, this makes sense. Let me walk around. And the clue is, hello, friend, in a nice, soothing voice. So if you look over here at the top, it's called Mountain's Edge, and it says, howdy, neighbor. Okay. Hello, friend, in a nice, soothing voice. Howdy, neighbor. To me, it makes me think of Howdy Doody. When I see Howdy, and, I don't know, it makes me think of a kid's show like Howdy Doody. But what Tammy was going for was that sign. The howdy neighbor is hello friend. And she was thinking Mr. Rogers, like in that calm voice of his when he would call you neighbor. Howdy, neighbor, like Mr. Rogers. So this, the howdy neighbor tells you this is the side of the park you're supposed to go in. Okay. Mr. Rogers. I could see it. Although I wouldn't have probably went to hello neighbor right away, but I think somebody might have when they saw that. Okay, so we go in, we're looking around. This is the back of the sign, happy trails when you leave. I'm walking around. I'm like, it's a pretty cool park. There's like all these structures and stuff for the kids to play on. And then we still have one more stanza to go, right? And that is boom, boom, boom. If you choose right, choose with 3 S's. Your heart might be broken. If you choose wrong, you won't find the token. So somewhere in this playground, you have to go right. Oh, if you choose right, your heart might be broken. If you choose wrong, you won't find the token. Okay, so it's like, well, what does that mean? What are we looking for? So let me show you the other video. And then we're going to go to the clues that she sent. So let's say this was out, and let's say people even had the park, but maybe they don't get it in the first 24 hours. She sends out the follow-up clue at 11 a.m. the next day, and see if that helps you guys or not. Let me bring up the other video. Nope, that's not it. So as we walk through the park, we see this. Okay, so now there's all these structures, and let's go back to the verse. If you choose with 3 S's, almost like choose right, your heart might be broken. If you choose wrong, you won't find the token. So I'm walking through here going choose right or wrong. What does that mean? Right or wrong? So I'm walking in, I'm looking around, and then right there, you see there's a snake, there's an iguana, things that kind of hiss. Choose with 3 S's. If you choose right, which this is to the right, although I guess it depends. If you choose wrong, your heart will be broken if you go the other way. So if you come over here, if you choose right, your heart will be broken. And right here, over on the right-hand side, there is a broken, this is like a vase, I guess, or a pottery thing. And this is where the token would have been. Now, if you guys don't know, the way Tammy does it is it's a coin. The token is like a medallion or a coin in a plastic case. And she buries it maybe an inch or two down. And then there's a string sticking out. So you find the string, you just pull it up. So it would have been right here within this. This was the heartbroken part. It would have been right here in this broken pottery vase, whatever you want to call this thing. The only thing I'll say, though, Tammy, it is a really cool playground. That's right, because I'd never been there before. I will say, Tammy, though, is if you do this in a park like this, a kid may find it, though, right? I mean, kids are going to go in here, especially little kids. So somebody may accidentally pull it up. Now, I know you just did this as an example. There's nothing really there. But I'm just letting you know, if you do put it in a playground like this, there's a possibility, I guess, a kid could find it. So if you're looking at it and you're like, well, I wouldn't have got that. That's kind of difficult. Then Tammy would have sent out the old hint, right? And let me find the hint that I put up, or no, that she sent me. Yeah, kids are going to dig it up. Exactly. That's what I thought too when I saw it. Yeah, and she's saying this isn't where she would actually hide the token. This was just for this example. I get it, Tammy. And I appreciate that. So let me look where the hint is. Okay, here's the hint. Next day, maybe this comes out because nobody's found it 24 hours later, and she sends out another riddle. Okay. An old-timey piano plays while Nick and his friends sing a couple of songs that get stuck in your head. Now I got this one. An old-timey piano is a Nickelodeon. Yeah, and she says it'll be more discreetly hidden. So for the actual ones. An old-timey piano is a Nickelodeon. I got that one. While Nick and his friends, Nickelodeon, okay, sing a couple of songs that get stuck in your head. The old-timey piano is Nickelodeon, which I got. While sing a couple of songs that get stuck in your head. A cowardly cook with a big imagination and a backpacker mapping her final location. Now, this one I did not get, but the cowardly cook with a big imagination is SpongeBob. Cowardly being yellow, and it was on Nickelodeon, right? SpongeBob. And if you Google SpongeBob imagination, you get tons of images of rainbows. So this was another hint to Rainbow Boulevard. When I think SpongeBob, I do think rainbows. I think I've seen the cartoon enough to get that. So this was another hint to Rainbow Road, okay? The backpacker mapping her final location is Dora the Explorer, another one on Nickelodeon. And Dora the Explorer, Exploration Peak Park. So these are little hints onto where you have to go, or hints that help you with the original poem, I guess, okay? Junior's here with his dog, whose name we all know, but not until the last did his dad steal the show. Junior's here with his dog, whose name we all know, but not until the last did his dad steal the show. Now, this is another one where I was thinking, I know this. It was in the back of my mind, like Junior. And this references Jones, Indiana Jones, right? They named the dog Indiana Jones. Indiana was junior, with Sean Connery was senior. The dog's name was Indiana. So Junior's here with his dog. Indiana Jones' dog was named Indiana, but not until the last did his dad steal the show. And that was the last Crusade, right? Was when he was in there. So it's another clue to Jones that we were trying to get to Indiana Jones Road. Let's get some chicken while we look at the falls. I'm in the wrong city. There's no falls here at all. Let's get some chicken while we look at the falls. So Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Buffalo chicken wings. And Niagara Falls is near Buffalo, New York. But this Buffalo is not near any falls. It's another hint to Buffalo. So a hint to Rainbow, a hint to Jones, another hint to Buffalo. These are the roads, right? The path she was leading us on. And I like that. I get it. In the wrong city, there's no falls. I would have been like Niagara Falls, Buffalo. I would have went right to Buffalo, the street, if this would have been the actual one. Please don't get sick. There's no doctor in town. In 12 more years, he will come back around. Now, this was hard. This one I did not get. This one was pretty difficult. Please don't get sick. There's no doctor in town. And again, you had to be at the playground to understand what this meant. There's an old replica town for kids to play, which I just showed in the video. And it's dated 1873, 12 years before Dr. Emmett Brown will arrive. The back was capitalized because it was Back to the Future. So if you guys remember, this one would have been hard to remember the year type thing. But if you remember, and I'll even show you the video one more time. Actually, I have a picture of it right here. Hey, boom. This is on that playground right here. Oh, my system's a little slow. 1873 is the year. And this is part of the playground as you're going back to where the snake is. So 1873, but it would have been a hard one to figure out, I think. That would not have helped me. That would have confused me. There's an old replica town. Okay, please don't get sick. There's no doctor in town. So Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. In 12 more years, he will come back around. Remember the cowboy one when they went back? 1873, 12 years before Dr. Emmett Brown will arrive. And the back was capitalized for Back to the Future. So another movie reference. I like the theme that she's continuing with movie references or cartoon references, okay? If you find it, and then the last part. How did that get over there? Okay. If you find it, let me bring it back up. If you find it, I won't know when until you call me or we meet again. If you find it, I won't know when until you call me or we meet again. On the other side of the Howdy Neighbors sign, it says Happy Trails, and the old Roy Rogers song, Happy Trails to You until we meet again. Until you call me or we meet again. So it was a hint that you were in the right playground when you were walking out and you see the Happy Trails sign. So again, and JBR says she got stuck researching doctors. We didn't know it was the doctor from Back to the Future. Right. MS says they did a great job. And again, 24 hours later, if nobody's found it, she's going to give more and more. And what she just said was on the third or fourth day, she'll give a map like what we had to narrow down the area. For the entire state, it'll narrow down the area. Because if you're trying to apply these poems or these riddles to the entire state, it could probably fit a lot of places. Part of the fun, part of the frustration, but if she is going to narrow it down, I think that'll help. So there it is. That's an example that Tammy put together, kind of show us how her puzzles are going to work. And again, if you guys see this later on, we're live now, but for the people that watch this in the upcoming weeks, in the comments below, put what you thought of the puzzle. Put what you liked, put what you didn't like. And it's feedback. It's feedback for Tammy, to Tammy and family, because I'm sure they help as well. It's feedback for them. Bob, too, is probably going to... Is Bob just driving you, or is he part of this? For them to put these things together. And the thing about to have to do that kind of riddle for every state, I mean, that's a lot, especially if you've never been to the state before. So I think she's using Google Maps. She's doing a ton of research online to get an idea of where to put it. And then they actually physically go there to hide the proxy. And then they come up with the clues to, that way. So again, let's go to the calendar, everybody, because you don't want to be left out. What you don't want to do when you knew about all this, I'm live right now. What you don't want to do is when you knew about all this and then your state goes by and you're like, oh, I forgot. I really wanted to play, but I forgot. I was busy. No, you don't want that to happen. So if you're in Kentucky, Maine, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, or South Carolina, you only have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get your ticket. And before July 8th, Tammy is going to tell everybody, she'll email you and tell you if the hunt is on or they didn't sell enough tickets. If they don't sell enough tickets, you get a refund, of course. Hopefully, I think Pennsylvania will be the big one because you had the article. Let me bring up the article too real quick. MyTreasureAdventures.com is where you go and you buy the ticket and you look at the calendar and you do the thing and then you're ready and then you're in because you can't win if you don't play, everybody. You can sit on the sidelines and say shoulda, woulda, coulda, and then when the person who didn't buy because they're like, oh, my state's so big, and they realize it was the park on the block right at the end of their house, you got to play to win. That's all I can say. So there is an article, which I hope is one of many, Tammy. I hope you get this out because that's the whole thing, is getting the word out. There's treasure hunters out there. You just got to get it this eyes in front of them to do it. So she sent me the link. Here it is. Boom. There it is. And this is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Do I have that right? This Wrightsville woman is planning a statewide treasure hunt plus 49 more. And there she is. Tammy Mitzel, Wrightsville-based owner and operator of Treasure Adventures, has 50 family-friendly treasure hunts scheduled across the country this summer, including one in Pennsylvania. So, and there's another one they did. I'm not going to read the whole article, but Uncharted Lancaster's treasure hunt game returns. I think that's something else. But, yeah, those are other articles. So there it is. Let the hunt begin. Aiding charities. Part of the money goes to charities. MyTreasureAdventures.com. She even has her phone number there, for God's sake, people. If you need to call her, give her a call. And she can probably answer any questions you have. But I would probably suggest you email through the website first. But she does need a minimum of 400 tickets sold per state. And there it is. It's that simple. Mitzel rhymes with schnitzel. All right, not Mitzel. It's Mitzel. All right, I gotcha. Is that part of the riddle or no? Okay. Come on, East Coast. Let's buy Pennsylvania tickets. Yeah, I know we have a couple searchers that are right there. Ohio, Pennsylvania. They're all going to buy in. None of the riddles will be finalized until she's actually been there to hide the proxy. I agree with that because you're going to walk it and do the whole thing. And I'm confident that they're going to be good riddles. I think I'm definitely playing. I mean, me and K-Pro have already bought Nevada, which we need to decide is, do we get Utah or maybe Arizona? I don't know. We got to think about that one. And Tammy doesn't mind phone calls, so give her a call. So there it is, everybody. Thank you to My Treasure Adventures. Thank you, Tammy and Bob, for sending us that sample. I think people will be a little more comfortable knowing, oh, I see. It's a puzzle. It's a riddle. Everybody that bought in will get it. I'm sure she doesn't want you to share it publicly because you will be disqualified. So don't do that. It's only the people that have bought in are eligible to win. How many sold for Connecticut? Because Eleanor has Connecticut. I don't know if Tammy's giving the numbers out. Tammy always can update in the comments here when we're done and give us updates however she wants. There is a leaderboard though, Eleanor. So on the let's go with leaderboard. It tells you what state is in the lead, and it's Pennsylvania now because of that article. So I wonder how many tickets you sold once the article came out. If it was really a big jump, just a couple, there's still 2 weeks. Yeah. So Pennsylvania's number 1, and then North Carolina, Ohio, Texas, then Massachusetts, South Carolina, and then 4 states are tied for 7th place. I'm going to assume Connecticut is tied in those states. Eleanor, so you got to talk to your friends and family and get them to buy some tickets. Scott says, I'd be interested in Oregon, maybe a Washington State. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Tammy says, thank you. No, thank you for actually putting your money and your time and your effort where your mouth is. A lot of people talk about it. Not too many people actually do it. You're actually doing it. So thank you, Tammy and Bob and family, for making it happen. Me and K-Pro are excited about Nevada. And let's see how in 2 weeks, how July 8th goes, or June 8th. I'm sorry. No, July 8th. In 2 weeks is July 8th. July 8th, those 5 states. Is it 5 states or 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states. Kentucky, Maine, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina in 2 weeks, July 8th. Get your tickets. That's it. That's all we got to say. And it'll be a lot of fun. And I invite anybody that wins out of those 5 states to come on the show with Tammy and go over the solution. Tell us all about how it went down. That would be a lot of fun. So, all right, everybody, thanks a lot. Remember, we're making a video a day in June. We have 6 more days to go. We're going to do the Beacon Star. We're going to do our California vacation. You get to see me falling in the ocean. My leg's all scraped up. We're going to do the treasure hunt that we did at World Series of Fend at the Horseshoe just for Lorraine. We're going to make that video and go over that solution. And then there's a little something called Magic the Gathering. We're going to go over opening these packs for those who know what this is and how huge it's going to be when we find the one ring. So we got some fun stuff coming up. Hope you subscribe. Hope you tune in. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.